from 2014. More testimony from the Australian Labor Party former ministers about corrupt activity from them regarding building development. Good decisions have come from the Liberal-run government in New South Wales, although individuals have been compromised by an industry trying to bribe them. But the ALP are seen to have acted corruptly without such bribes. This disparity might be puzzling to the uninitiated, but a simple explanation is that corrupt unions have acted as a go-between using slush funds. Slush funds are not deemed to be illegal, so the ALP members have vast resources for corruption that is prima facie legal. Roozendal has admitted he has supported a Buildev option on Tripodi's advice, despite independent advice saying he shouldn't. That is corrupt. It highlights why the New South Wales government is now tentative regarding coal seam gas approval. Responsible government would approve coal seam gas extraction, but government nervous that it could be accused of collusion can't. And so the double standard regarding the courts addressing corruption within politics is explained. The Greens have an advert that could easily be a federal government one. The ending of the ridiculous mineral rent tax is important for Australia. It had made it expensive to mine relative to the rest of the world. It also didn't raise money, and it cost a lot more. Some of the ridiculous costs were ended, but not all, after a deal with PUP. If the ALP wanted better, they should have renegotiated. Another big win to Abbott government. What are the Greens trying to achieve? It is apparent that Gillard watered down IR law so as to foster union corruption. But what do the Greens get out of it? Australia is punching above her weight when it comes to exporting terrorists to the Middle East. The Anglican Church seems to be on the wrong side of culture in Gosford. We have unions who break IR laws with apparent impunity and hiring people now known to be terrorists. Greens speak out for genocidal maniacs, but that seems to be a broad failing of the left, who excuse genocide in the name of multiculturalism. Meanwhile, the federal government is trying her best and has to compromise on the issues of banning the dole for 6 months on new recipients who are young. But a delay is a good thing because it limits needless access to welfare, which is hard to remove. But compromise is essential when the Senate is hostile. The ability of PUP to block progress might be limited. It is testimony that one port manager was not supported by the $12 million Palmer claims he spent on that port. Greens are desperate, and there have been no warning now for 19 years despite a substantial increase in carbon dioxide. Now hysterics are preaching to little children that their pets will be killed by AGW monsters. A lovely Maori woman stands with Israel. There are calls to place science teacher specialists in primary schools, which seems a good idea.